see before you are all representations of our life today. But this idyllic paradise is in imminent danger. That's right, friends and allies. A dastardly evil has descended upon our society, lurking from the fringes to cast their hungry stare upon our valued institutions. We here at ExxonMobil, alongside our subsidiaries Gazprom's United States of America, have one concern and one concern only: to protect you and your loved ones from the growing threat to our safety, freedom, and treasured way of life: environmentalism. Environmentalists are commonly referred to as the notorious hippie, but also include other such extreme radical fringe groups as women, children, puppies, ethnic and minority groups, and legitimate scientists. These dangerous and highly suspect radicals are attacking our otherwise perfect society by perpetuating a myth that threatens to derail the progress we've made over the last decades. The myth: climate change. But what is this climate change? For insight, ask this scientist.
Changing climate is a natural phenomenon. That said, there are a number of things we've done as humans to affect climate, most notably the addition of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, that being principally carbon dioxide and methane. And it's very much like a greenhouse, allowing the sun to come in, but trapping the escape of heat. So this essentially is what we're doing to affect climate. And the data and the evidence now in the last 10, 15, 20 years is irrefutable that humans, due to the addition of greenhouse gas and other factors, have effectively warmed the climate.
As you have just learned, climate change is a notorious myth comprised of meaningless technical jargon designed to confuse and disorient you and your loved ones.
That is not what I said at all.
Environmentalists have posited some truly frightening scenarios if we address this farce that is known as climate change. Imagine a situation like this. Or this. Terrifying, isn't it? At the heart of this assault on our God-given right to produce and consume such products as ExxonMobil's carbon converter is a three-pronged attack, forming a trident of vicious freedom hate. Prong one is species protection, or biodiversity. Species protection is the idea that diverse species on Earth need to be protected from harm. Climate change activists, the Greens, will try to tell you that climate change is already responsible for the extinction of several species. Fear not, though, friends, we have a special guest here to prove them wrong.
Thank you for joining me today to talk to you guys about the environmentalists and to take action against this extreme American fringe group. Now, these environmentalists aren't like Joe the plumber or Sally the soccer mom. They've been blaming climate change on the extinction of our cute and cuddly little friends. Not to worry, climate change isn't real. There were just too darn many of those Aussie possums running around, and I had to put my predator control program into practice. And all it took was a long-range rifle, a helicopter, and yours truly to get rid of that possum problem.
Thanks to the heroic efforts of patriots like these, species diversity cannot grow to such threatening proportions as those seen here. I think we can all agree that tiger attacks have become an all too common feature of urban life, and anything that can be done to limit their frequency should be smiled upon. The second prong of this iron trident of extremism is global environmental justice. Global justice basically means we here in rich countries are supposed to care about less developed nations and the effects that our already glorious lifestyles have on theirs. Climate change could even have a positive impact on some of these poorer countries. Take, for example, a small island country like Malta. Imagine the tourism revenue when it's submerged underwater. It would be a modern-day Atlantis. The potential millions of homeless could easily be given jobs in ExxonMobil's useless trinkets division. Everybody wins. However, the Greens seem to think that just because we caused the problem and have the resources to fix it, it should be up to us. Seriously, when was the last time Lockheed Martin paid to repair a foreign hospital? That brings us to the third spear in the environmentalist trident: intergenerational justice.
Intergenerational justice is the idea that we who are alive today owe something to the children that we are mostly likely to have, and to their children who are slightly less likely, depending on how likely it is that we have children in the first place. This versus how mostly unlikely it is the environmentalists succeed with their propaganda, which will very likely result in some form of population control, designed to prevent us from having children so no one will be left to buy a Carbonose.
New from ExxonMobil, it's Carbonose. Your kids will love the delicious flavor of our brand new carbon-based cereal product. Yes, we may be an oil company, but just look how easy breakfast is with Carbonose. Carbonose. Because if you don't care about your children, we sure as hell won't.
Once again, the nefariousness of their plans is obvious enough to be laughable. Why would we want to protect our children when they won't even buy our products? Especially considering they wouldn't be alive without them in the first place. Everybody knows that human reproduction would stop altogether without carbon.
This is rendered all the more devious when one considers the relation of these three weapons of misinformation. The Greens say that one aspect alone cannot be dealt with, that all three are interrelated. Clearly, they are undeterred by logic. For example, if biodiversity is protected, an abundance of species will simply take the jobs of the world's poor. Still, our green enemies have staged a number of attempts to confuse our governments into compromising our profits. Fortunately, our heroic policymakers realize that if we're not making money, neither are they. The centerpiece of this attack is the mythical Kyoto Protocol. The Kyoto Protocol is named for the site of the first nuclear bomb attack of World War II, occurring in 1966. The Kyoto Protocol attempts to force us to reduce our carbon emissions by a whopping 5.2%. Fortunately for us, our policymakers were unwilling to commit to such extravagant goals and abandoned the protocol altogether. Despite the failures of the Greens, we must remain vigilant. It is our moral imperative as careless consumers to fight environmentalism. Only by working together can we move past fraudulent science and trumped-up morality, earning the right to live as we please at the expense of everyone and everything else on the planet. Remember, all that is required for evil to succeed is for good people to do nothing. And to you Greens, what do you hope to accomplish with collective action? You can only fail like so many other movements before you, like the Civil Rights Movement, or women's suffrage. Just try and stop us. We dare you.
Cut! Don't tell people to organize against us. That's exactly what we're trying to stop. We want people to feel like the message is so hopeless that they don't even want to try.
Alright, well, they want to try it again?
No, forget it. Let's move straight into the project launch.
Remember, friends and allies, the best way to hold the radical environmentalist threat at bay is to continue to buy our products. Look for ExxonMobil's new hydrogen-powered car, coming out as soon as we figure out how to charge you as much for water as we do for gas. How do I turn this off?
Now I'm just pulling stuff out. I'm trying to get the message.